The massive alien fleet hung in the darkness of space just beyond Earth's moon. Commander Vex stood on the bridge of his flagship, studying the blue planet that rotated slowly before him. For 3 cycles, the Dominion had conquered every world in this sector. Earth would be no different. "Commander, the humans are broadcasting again," his lieutenant reported. The message played through the ship's speakers. The same warning Earth had been transmitting for the past 7 days. "This is Earth Defense Command. Any unauthorized entry into our atmosphere will be considered an act of war. We strongly advise you to maintain your current distance. This is your final warning." Vex laughed, a harsh sound that echoed through the bridge. "Final warning? These primitive beings dare to threaten the Dominion?" He turned to his crew. "Their technology is centuries behind ours. Their ships are few. Their weapons are basic projectiles and nuclear devices. Prepare the invasion force." The lieutenant hesitated. "Commander, our scouts report strange readings from the planet's surface. Energy signatures we cannot identify." "Irrelevant," Vex dismissed. "No species has ever stopped the Dominion. Begin the descent." Down on Earth, General Tom Jackson stood in the underground bunker of Defense Command. The wall of screens showed the alien fleet beginning to move. "They're not listening, sir," Major Lisa Park reported. Jackson nodded grimly. "Then they've made their choice. Alert all stations. Activate Protocol 7. Sir, are you sure? We've never used it against a full fleet." "They were warned," Jackson said simply. "Multiple times. In multiple languages. We even sent them the historical records of the last 3 invasions that tried this." He paused, watching as the first alien ships entered the upper atmosphere. Some species only learn through experience. The alien ships descended in perfect formation, their shields glowing as they pushed through Earth's atmosphere. Vex watched the view screen with satisfaction. No resistance yet. The humans were probably cowering in their cities, preparing to surrender. "Commander, detecting massive electromagnetic buildup across the planet's surface," the science officer announced. Confusion in his voice. "The readings are impossible." Before Vex could respond, it began. "Every piece of metal on Earth, from the smallest paperclip to the largest skyscraper, suddenly became magnetized. Cars, trains, planes, buildings, even the iron in the soil itself turned into a planet-sized electromagnetic weapon. The magnetic field that naturally protected Earth from solar radiation suddenly intensified 1,000-fold. The alien ship's instruments went haywire. Their carefully calibrated shields designed to deflect energy weapons and projectiles were useless against the planet itself becoming a massive magnet. Ships started spinning uncontrollably, pulled in different directions by competing magnetic forces. "What is happening?" Vex shouted as his flagship lurched violently to one side. "The planet. The entire planet is weaponized!" The science officer screamed over the alarms. "Their magnetic field is tearing our fleet apart." But that was only the beginning. In hidden bunkers across Earth, humans activated the second phase. Every volcano on the planet erupted simultaneously. Not naturally, but controlled, directed. Streams of molten rock shot into the atmosphere like ancient artillery, guided by the magnetic fields to strike the tumbling alien vessels. Vex watched in horror as ship after ship was either crushed by magnetic forces or melted by guided lava streams. His mighty fleet, which had conquered 100 worlds, was being destroyed by a planet's own geology. "Retreat," he screamed. "All ships, emergency retreat!" But it was too late for most. As the surviving ships tried to flee, Earth deployed its final surprise. The ocean itself rose up, massive columns of magnetized water reaching into the atmosphere, swatting ships like flies. The humans had turned their entire planet into a weapon. Only Vex's flagship and a handful of others managed to escape Earth's atmosphere, battered and barely functional. As they limped back toward the moon, a new transmission came from Earth. "This is General Jackson of Earth Defense Command. You were warned. Earth is not just our home, it is our fortress, our weapon, and our guardian. Tell others what happened here. Earth is off limits." 3 days after the failed invasion, Ambassador Rex of the Galactic Council arrived at the edge of Earth's solar system. His sleek diplomatic vessel approached slowly, broadcasting peaceful intentions on all frequencies. Unlike the Dominion, he had come to understand why Earth had never been successfully invaded. "Earth Defense Command. This is Ambassador Rex of the Galactic Council. I come in peace requesting permission to approach for diplomatic discussion." The response came quickly. "Ambassador Rex, maintain your position at Jupiter's orbit. A representative will meet you there." Rex waited patiently. Within hours, a small Earthship arrived. Nothing impressive by galactic standards, just a basic shuttle with minimal weapons. But Rex knew better than to underestimate humans based on appearances. The woman who stepped aboard his ship wore a simple military uniform. She introduced herself as Colonel Jane Williams. "Ambassador," she greeted him with a nod. "I assume you're here about the Dominion incident." "Indeed," Rex replied, gesturing for her to sit. "The surviving ships have reported something unprecedented. They claim you turned your entire planet into a weapon." Jane smiled slightly. "We didn't turn it into anything. Earth has always been a weapon. We just learned how to use it." Rex leaned forward, intrigued. "Please explain." "Every planet has natural defenses," Jane began. "Gravity, atmosphere, weather patterns. But Earth is special. Our magnetic field is unusually strong. Our tectonic activity is highly active. Our moon creates massive tidal forces. What other species see as a hostile environment, we see as home advantage. But to control volcanic eruptions, to weaponize the magnetic field itself." Rex shook his head in amazement. "Humans have always been survivors," Jane explained. "We evolved on a planet that tries to kill us regularly. Earthquakes, tsunamis, hurricanes, volcanic eruptions, these are just Tuesday for us. When we discovered we weren't alone in the universe, we asked ourselves, why fight against our planet when we could fight alongside it?" Rex pulled up a holographic display showing the battle data. The Dominion lost 90% of their fleet. No species has ever inflicted such losses on them. "They were warned," Jane said simply. "We broadcast our warnings in over 300 languages. We even included a historical database showing what happened to the last 3 species that ignored those warnings." "The Scree Empire," Rex recalled. "They vanished 50 years ago after attempting to invade Earth. And the warrior clans of Nexus, the crystal beings of the Void Sector. None ever spoke of what happened," Jane nodded. "They were embarrassed. Imagine being a mighty spacefaring empire, defeated not by advanced technology or superior firepower, but by a planet's bad mood. This is why humans are still considered a pre-galactic civilization despite your capabilities," Rex mused. "You don't need to leave Earth because Earth itself is your ultimate defense." "We do leave," Jane corrected. "We have colonies on Mars, mining operations in the asteroid belt. But Earth remains our fortress. We've spent the last century not trying to build bigger ships or better weapons, but learning to conduct our planet like an orchestra." Rex studied the human carefully. "The Council will want to know. Could Earth's defenses be overwhelmed? If someone sent 1,000 ships, 10,000? Jane's expression turned serious. "Ambassador, what I'm about to show you is classified. But I think it's important for the Council to understand." She pulled out a small device, projecting a hologram of Earth. "This is our planet at 20% defensive capacity. That's what the Dominion faced. 20%? Rex couldn't hide his shock. "We can increase the magnetic field strength to the point where it would pull the iron from a living being's blood at a distance of thousands of kilometers. We can trigger earthquake patterns that create focused gravitational waves. We can turn our atmosphere into a plasma shield that would vaporize anything trying to pass through." Jane paused. "And if truly threatened, we have Protocol Omega." "Which is?" "We detonate the moon," Jane said calmly. "The debris field would create an impenetrable barrier around Earth for centuries, while the tidal effects would remake our planet's surface. We'd survive in our deep bunkers. Nothing else would." Rex sat in stunned silence. The humans had turned mutually assured destruction into a planetary defense system. "We don't want to be conquerors," Jane continued. "We don't want to rule the galaxy. We just want to be left alone to live on our dangerous, beautiful, deadly world. Is that too much to ask?" The Grand Chamber of the Galactic Council buzzed with nervous energy. Representatives from 47 species had gathered for an emergency session. Ambassador Rex stood at the center, presenting his findings about Earth to the assembled delegates. "The evidence is clear," Rex announced, displaying the battle recordings. "Earth's defensive capabilities exceed anything we've previously encountered. The humans have achieved something we thought impossible: complete planetary weaponization." Director Val of the Science Collective stood up, her forearms gesturing dramatically. "This cannot be accurate. No species can control natural planetary forces to such a degree. It violates the fundamental laws of planetary physics. And yet here is the proof," Rex countered. showing the destruction of the Dominion fleet, 90% losses in less than 30 minutes. No shots fired from conventional weapons. The planet itself was the weapon. The representative from the mining guild, a crystalline being named Carr, chimed in. If the humans can control volcanic activity and magnetic fields, what else can they do? Could they trigger solar flares? Manipulate gravity? Unknown, Rex admitted. Colonel Williams only revealed what they used against the Dominion. She implied they have capabilities we haven't seen. Lord Master Zek of the defeated Dominion fleet had been forced to attend, his pride severely wounded.
They are primitives,
he protested. Their space technology is generations behind ours. How can a species that barely manages fusion power control an entire planet? Perhaps that's exactly why they can, suggested Elder Knox, the oldest member of the council. While we focused on leaving our worlds behind, building faster ships and stronger shields, the humans went the opposite direction. They dug deeper into their world, understood it, mastered it. The historical records support this, Rex added, pulling up ancient files. Every species that achieved spaceflight did so by overcoming their planet's limitations. Humans are the only ones who embrace them. Look at their history. They've lived through ice ages, massive extinctions, supervolcanic eruptions. Events that would end other civilizations are merely chapters in their story. Director Val accessed her scientific databases. Their planet is statistically hostile. 71% water surface, but most of it undrinkable. Constant tectonic activity. Regular magnetic pole reversals. Extreme weather patterns. By all logic, intelligent life should never have evolved there. But it did, Rex emphasized, and that life learned to thrive in chaos. The humans have a saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Their entire evolution is proof of this concept. A younger delegate, Representative Bow from the Trade Federation, raised a concern. If Earth is so powerful, what stops them from using these abilities for conquest? They could hold the entire galaxy hostage. Geography, Rex explained. Their planetary defenses only work on Earth. They can't take their magnetosphere with them. They can't trigger volcanoes on other worlds. Their greatest strength is also their limitation. Then we contain them, Lord Master Zek suggested eagerly. Blockade their system. Prevent them from expanding. Elder Knox laughed, a sound like wind chimes. You want to cage the humans? Did you learn nothing from your defeat? They don't need to expand. They're self-sufficient, and any blockade would be seen as an act of war. The Elder is correct, Rex confirmed. Colonel Williams made it clear. Humans want peaceful coexistence. They'll trade with us, share cultural exchanges, even provide humanitarian aid. But any aggression toward Earth will be met with overwhelming force. What about their colonies? Another delegate asked. Mars, the asteroid bases. Minimally defended by conventional means, Rex reported. The humans seem to view them as expendable. Earth is their true home, their fortress. Everything else is just temporary expansion. Director Val had been running calculations on her personal device. If my models are correct, and Earth can indeed increase its defensive capabilities to 100% as claimed, then a full-scale assault would require the combined fleets of every council member. The casualties would be catastrophic and success would not be guaranteed. Why would we even consider such action? Elder Knox asked pointedly. The humans have threatened no one. They've asked for nothing but to be left in peace. They even warned the Dominion multiple times before defending themselves. The chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. Here was a species that had solved the ultimate defensive problem. How to make invasion so costly that no one would attempt it. I motion, Elder Knox announced, that Earth be designated a protected system under council law. No member shall approach without explicit human permission. Seconded, Rex added quickly. The vote was almost unanimous. Only Lord Master Zek abstained, his pride still stinging from his defeat. Deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, in the heart of Earth Defense Command, General Tom Jackson reviewed the reports from the past week. The successful defense against the Dominion had sent ripples throughout the galaxy. Now, he sat across from President David Park and the Joint Chiefs, discussing humanity's next steps. The Galactic Council has officially designated Earth as a protected system, President Park announced. No alien vessel can approach without our permission. It's unprecedented. We're the first non-council member to receive such status. Admiral Ruth Chen leaned forward. It's fear, not respect. They're terrified of what we might do. Good, General Jackson replied. Fear keeps them at a distance. That's all we've ever wanted. Dr. Michael Reed, head of the Planetary Defense Initiative, pulled up a holographic display. The system performed better than our simulations predicted. The magnetic field manipulation was 97% efficient. Volcanic control was 92% accurate. We could improve these numbers with the new upgrades. Tell me about Protocol 8, the president asked. Dr. Reed's expression turned serious. Protocol 8 involves the ocean currents. We've discovered how to create focused hurricanes, waterspouts that reach the stratosphere. Combined with the magnetic field, we could essentially create a shield of spinning water and wind around the entire planet. And Protocol 9? Admiral Chen inquired. Still theoretical, Dr. Reed admitted. But if successful, we could temporarily alter Earth's gravitational field, make it impossible for ships to achieve stable orbit. They'd either be pulled in and crushed or ejected into deep space. General Jackson stood, walking to the window that displayed a false view of Earth's surface. The real surface was hundreds of meters above them. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to discuss our long-term strategy. We've shown the galaxy our teeth. Now what? We continue as planned, President Park said firmly. Peaceful coexistence, limited trade, cultural exchange. But Earth remains sovereign. What about the colonies? Admiral Chen asked. Mars is requesting additional defenses. Mars was always meant to be expendable, Jackson replied bluntly. It's a research outpost, a mining operation. If threatened, we evacuate and return to Earth. Our eggs remain in one basket because that basket is unbreakable. Dr. Reed pulled up another display. Speaking of research, the alien computer systems we salvaged from the Dominion wrecks are fascinating. Their shield technology could be adapted to enhance our atmospheric defenses. Carefully, the president warned. We don't want to become dependent on alien technology. Our strength is that our defenses are entirely Earth-based. No one can disable them with computer viruses or energy weapons. A communication alert interrupted their discussion. Colonel Jane Williams appeared on the screen from her diplomatic mission. General, I have an interesting proposal from the Galactic Council. They want to establish an embassy in international waters, a floating platform where they can maintain diplomatic contact without actually entering our territory. Thoughts? President Park asked the room. Admiral Chen considered it. It keeps them at arm's length while allowing dialogue. We could monitor everything from shore, and if they try anything suspicious, one tsunami ends the problem. Jackson added pragmatically. The platform would need to be built to our specifications, Dr. Reed suggested. No weapons, no surveillance equipment beyond basic communications, and we reserve the right to sink it at any time. Tell them we'll consider it, the president decided. But first I want to address something else. The recordings of our defense have spread throughout human society. People are proud, but some are asking why we're not using this power to expand our influence. General Jackson turned from the window. Because we're not conquerors. We're survivors. Every species in the galaxy expanded outward, seeking new worlds when theirs became difficult. We did the opposite. We adapted to our difficult world. That's what makes us unique. And dangerous, Admiral Chen added. The galaxy fears us because we did what they couldn't. We stayed and fought our planet until it became our ally. Dr. Reed brought up population statistics. 11 billion humans on Earth, living in harmony with our defensive systems. The underground cities, the ocean habitats, the mountain strongholds. We've adapted to live alongside our weapons. This is our evolution, President Park concluded. Not to reach for the stars, but to make our star system an impregnable fortress. Let others have the galaxy. Earth is ours, and that's enough. The meeting continued for hours, planning humanity's future. Outside, unbeknownst to the galaxy, Earth continued its ancient dance. Storms brewing, tectonic plates shifting, the magnetic field pulsing. The planet was alive, aware and ready. 6 months had passed since the Dominion's failed invasion. The floating embassy platform bobbed gently in the Pacific Ocean, 500 kilometers from any landmass. Ambassador Rex stood on its observation deck, watching Earth's coastline through powerful telescopes. Beside him, Colonel Jane Williams sipped coffee from a thermal mug. Your council still doesn't understand, do they? Jane observed, noting Rex's continuous scanning of the horizon. They understand the facts, Rex replied, but accepting them is different. For millennia, the measure of a civilization's power was its ability to leave its homeworld behind. You've inverted that entire concept, Jane smiled. We call it the Fortress Earth Doctrine. Why build 1,000 warships when your planet is the ultimate warship? A communication alert drew their attention. The holographic display showed President David Park addressing the United Nations. Today marked a historic announcement. Citizens of Earth, the president began. Today we reveal the full extent of our planetary defense network. For too long we've operated in secrecy, but transparency with our own people is essential. The presentation that followed was stunning. Massive underground control centers spanning continents, ocean thermal generators that powered the magnetic field manipulators, volcanic management systems that could trigger or prevent eruptions at will. The entire planet was shown as an interconnected defense grid. Rex watched in amazement. You're showing this publicly? The galaxy will see this broadcast. That's the point, Jane confirmed. Deterrence only works if potential enemies know what they're facing. The presentation continued, showing how human cities had been built to complement the defense systems. Tokyo's skyscrapers were designed to channel magnetic fields. New York's underground served as massive capacitors. London's Thames barrier was actually a gravitational wave generator in disguise. Every human is part of the defense, President Park explained. From the farmer whose fields hide sensor arrays, to the office worker whose building doubles as a transmission tower. Earth doesn't just have defenders. Every human is a defender. Ambassador Rex noticed something else in the broadcast. Children in schools practicing emergency drills. But they were smiling, treating it like a game. Your young ones aren't afraid? Why would they be? Jane asked. This is normal for them. Earth has always been dangerous. Earthquakes, hurricanes, volcanic eruptions, we've lived with these for millennia. Now we control them. Our children don't fear the planet. They're partnered with it. A new ship appeared on the horizon, not approaching but maintaining the legal distance. Jane checked her tablet. That's the mining guild vessel. They want to negotiate for asteroid mining rights. Will Earth allow it? Probably. We don't need the asteroids. Let others have the scraps while we keep the crown jewel. Jane's expression turned thoughtful. Your council keeps asking what humanity wants. The answer is simple. To be left alone to tend our garden. Rex pulled up economic data. Your isolation is already affecting galactic trade routes. Many species relied on the possibility of future Earth resources. They'll adapt, Jane said without sympathy. We're not responsible for their poor planning. The embassy's communication system activated. It was Dr. Michael Reed from Earth Defense Command. Colonel Williams, we've completed the Protocol 10 tests. Full success. Protocol 10? Rex asked, concerned. Jane hesitated, then decided on transparency. Solar wind manipulation. We can use Earth's magnetic field to channel solar radiation into focused beams, essentially turning our sun into a targeting system. Rex's 4 eyes widened. That's a system-wide defense capability. Defense, Jane emphasized. Always defense. We're not interested in attacking anyone, but if someone brings a fleet to our system. She let the implication hang. The next day brought unexpected visitors. 3 survivors from the Dominion fleet requested asylum on Earth. They arrived in a damaged shuttle, broadcasting their surrender. General Jackson himself handled the communication. Why should Earth accept you? The lead survivor, a former officer named Captain John, he had adopted a human name, responded. Because we've learned what the galaxy refuses to accept. Earth isn't just another planet, it's a living fortress. We wish to learn from you, to understand how a species achieves such harmony with their world. After much deliberation, Earth accepted them. They were settled in Iceland, where they could study Earth's geology under strict supervision. As the months turned to years, the galaxy adjusted to the new reality. Earth stood alone but unassailable, a blue jewel that none dared touch. Trade agreements were established, cultural exchanges arranged, but always at arm's length. The warning broadcast continued now in over 500 languages. Earth's atmosphere is restricted space. Entry without permission will trigger planetary defense systems. You have been warned. And across the galaxy, every species learned the same lesson the Dominion had learned. Earth was not for taking. Earth was for Earthlings, and the planet itself would ensure it stayed that way.